Eleanor Rigby picked up the rice at a church where wedding had been. Lives in a dream, says at a window, wearing a face that she...
Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with blues singer and songwriter Kevin Burt. We caught up with him in early June 2020 to talk about this new world of COVID-19 and no live music, and so much more. For more than 25 years, he has delighted audiences throughout the Midwest, dispelling the myth that the true blues has no roots in Iowa. He is a self-taught musician on vocals, harmonica, and guitar, and he performs between 325 and 400 shows a year, and he can't wait to get back to that point. Please get to know him. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Good. Thanks for taking a minute after Neon Jazz.
Hey, no, man. Appreciate the opportunity to get the word out, I guess.
Absolutely. You know? So you're right here. Are you in the Midwest?
Yeah, I'm located in Coralville, Iowa, man. That's home
Gotcha.
right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's very rare that I talk to people from Iowa. So how's everything going up there for you guys?
It's good and weird.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I totally agree. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing during this. I know for live musicians, this has been a tough time. How have you been surviving through this?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, in my younger days, prior to being a full-time musician, I worked a lot of different jobs, just so that I could not so much so that I could figure out what I wanted to do, but so that I could put it in my mind, those things that I absolutely never wanted to have to do for a living. But I would always have the skill set. Things like, working as tarring roofs, working as a landscaper, doing, some physical, manual labor kind of stuff, worked at a meat packing plant in my youth. So when all of this hit and all of the shows and festivals started getting canceled, I reached out to my in-laws. They were about to hire somebody to do some landscaping at their house. I reached out to them and was able to secure working with them, doing the landscaping at their house. But then some of the neighbors saw me working, and they also know that I'm a musician, and they hired me as well. So I ended up inadvertently doing landscaping work. Now I'm slow and I'm old at this point.
Yep.
I'm doing young man's work with old man body parts, but that skill set still existed. The other thing that's keeping me afloat is the online shows, and then occasionally creating some things outdoors. I just approached my local municipality here. Iowa City's has an organization called Summer of the Arts, and they host most of the music festivals in the downtown area. And Iowa City is wonderful because they have a downtown music concert series for local bands. They have a jazz festival that usually would be over the 4th of July weekend that had been canceled. They have a soul festival, and then they have an arts fair all throughout the summer. It's spaced out, and they do all of these things in downtown Iowa City. Well, most of those things have been canceled, but the budget still sits. And so I approached them about doing a Truckload of Soul concert series where I'll be setting up my PA in the bed of a pickup truck. We'll drive into a community or a neighborhood, and I'll perform live while folks kind of stay in the driveways. And I'll do 2 or 3 short concerts in different neighborhoods throughout the city over the next, 3 or 4 weeks, midweek kind of thing. And so, I'm kind of an outside the box kind of thinker in that sense. So I came up with an idea that was sponsorable. And so they jumped on board with me, and I got a car dealership to provide me with a truck for the concerts. And it's beginning to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, cool, man. Talk to me about your beginnings. How did music become your world?
I had to go back to my college days, and I was a football player in college, and I believed that football was going to be my thing. My true senior year, my knee got dislocated, like the third play of my true senior year. I was a preseason All-American, and I was receiving some contact from some of the NFL teams. But after dislocating my knee, I just became damaged goods. I got the opportunity to redshirt, and with that, I came back, finished out my college career, but NFL wasn't interested. I ended up getting an opportunity to try out for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Canada. I was an All-American center, and I was all-conference and all-district playing center and nose guard. And so I was a Swiss Army lineman, essentially. I could play any position on the line, and a long snap. And so it was one of those things where they took a shot at me, but came back with I was too short and too American, too lower 50 anyway, and so they cut me. I moved to Iowa City to get into graduate school. I was going to go to school for social work, get my master's degree in social work. I put out 7 applications for jobs when I moved to Iowa City, and ended up being offered 5 jobs, 3 part-time, 2 full-time. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to work. And so I just took all the jobs. One of those jobs, I was in my office singing one day, and my boss heard me, said, damn, boy, you got a nice voice. You know, my son's putting together a blues band. You need to come audition. Well, it wasn't on my list of things to do, and so I kind of blew it off. And a couple of weeks later, my boss invited me to have dinner with she and her family, and it was a ruse to get me to get over to the house to audition for the band, because they were rehearsing down in the basement when I got there. Got set up, auditioned, and roughly 30 years later, here I am. You know, that's how it got started. Yeah.
Right on. What do you like the best about being a performer?
You know, the parallels between this and what I actually went to school for are remarkable, from a standpoint of what it does for people in need. And I say that from a standpoint of it's more of a spiritual thing. With the music, it's a physical thing with the social work kind of thing. And so, you know, it's not the kind of thing that for me, I know whether or not I'm doing it right until somebody takes the time to say, hey, I just want to let you know, this song that you did tonight made this difference in my world. And if you get, you know, one of those every once in a while, you know, it's pretty cool. But, you know, knock wood, you know, it seems like something like that happens almost every night, where you get that feedback from somebody that you made a difference for. And that component of this makes me smile, because you're doing what you do just because it is what you do. But that bonus of the fact that it actually serves a purpose to another soul out there is for me quite gratifying and humbling.
Let me ask you this question. Whenever we do get back to live music, what do you hope both the musician and the audience realizes from this time away?
That it shouldn't be taken for granted. You know, one thing that this has taught me is that every time I perform is the last time I'll perform. And my job's never done. If somebody says, man, that was the greatest show I ever saw, the next time that I perform, I have to either meet or beat that. That has to be on me. To know that this all doesn't have to exist. Live music is, it's kind of like jewelry. Nobody needs it, technically. I mean, you'll go about your life and you'll have a day, the sun's going to come up and it's going to go back down, and the hours that you exist on this planet are going to happen. But, every once in a while, getting that little piece of that bauble or that trinket, that thing that, you adorn yourself with, makes your day a little bit better, makes you feel a little bit shinier, makes you feel a little bit brighter. Music does that for your soul, and I hope that folks realize that nobody ever has to come to a show. And if they do come to a show, you better not let them down. You better understand that this is important. This matters to those folks that have been tuning in online and saying, hey, you know what? These online shows are making this a little more tolerable right now. I needed this today. Enough so that I'm going to support you, even though I can't look you in the eye and say, man, I needed this today. That $5 tip, that $20 tip, that $10 tip, that thing is, letting you know that, I needed this today. And so, I hope everybody realizes how this, it hasn't just affected the musicians, but those individuals that are those souls that dig the music as well. This is something that I hope nobody takes for granted again.
So my final question to you is this: everyone has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're the one living your life. Who do you think you are?
I'm what I hope to be, and that's a person that likes people. And if I like you, I love you. If I love you, you become family to me, and that just means I'll do whatever I can to make sure your world is a better place. That's to me, that's the whole part of this human experiment. Are we here to look at each other with the eyes of respect and love that's easy to give, or are we here to sit in judgment and treat other individuals as if they don't matter, as if we are better than them, as if we are superior on some level? And I am not a person that believes that is a thing ever. No matter what the situation is, because I can't tell you how you've lived your life. All I can do is tell you and say to you, do better, be better. And I'm going to do my best to do that for myself daily, is try to be better than yesterday. That's the only way I think that, as this human experiment, it can be anything positive, because we've already proven that we can't be good. We won't be good to each other if we don't look out, if we don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So
you're right, man.
If somebody wants to know who I am that one person that is going to be conscious enough of themselves to look out for you, and I don't mean anyone any disrespect. I don't want anybody to not live their life, but I've tried to make sure that I raise my daughters. I've got 2 daughters with my wife. I've said this to them from the day they could understand it. It's like, respect is a given between people. Your disrespect needs to be earned, and that to me is the bottom line. If we walk into the same room, we're breathing the same air. Our hearts pump the same type of blood. If we have that same blood type, if I go down and you got my blood type, I don't care where you came from. If I need it, I'll take it. And I hope that you'll take mine. If you're in that position, you won't care whether I'm black, white, Asian, gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever. I hope that you look and you just go, thank you, you know, because we run off the same kind of stuff. But, you know, if you want my disrespect, you know, show out. Show out. If you're going to show out and be that person that has no respect for the next person in line, for the person that's standing next to you, and I get to see that, you've earned my disrespect at that point, you know, and that's hard work. You know, that's hard work.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of folks that do their job well.
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, hey, thank you, man, for taking some time out for Neon Jazz today. Good luck with everything. Stay safe out there.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. You do the same, man. Big love to you and yours, and again to everyone that's supporting the live music and playing music on the radio stations, man. Thank you. Big love, and we'll see you next time, man.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest cats in Iowa, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Kevin for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.